Okay, I will continue this series of videos concerning how to know if a communication by a famous spirit can be considered as valid or as a true communication. Um, I hope you have seen my previous videos, and from what has been exposed there, I will try to make my point. For instance, there are videos from important spirit, important spirits. Let's say uh, spirits of people that were in the Bible, namely Jesus, Moses, Judas, or whatever you want. And one common question is, let's take Jesus for example. One very common question is, Jesus, do you regret something? Would you like to have done anything different from what you did? And it's very common that the reply is that Jesus says, well, I should have done this or I should have done that. I wish I could have done this differently or in a better way. And this kind of question is one of the clues that we can have that the communication should not be considered 100% a valid communication, because superior spirits, they do not regret doing things, because when you regret doing things is because you don't know exactly what to do or when you don't do things correctly. So superior spirits, especially Jesus, knew exactly what he was doing. He had the power to do everything he wanted. Jesus, let's say, is the second in command of the world, of the universe. Let's put it this way. So how come such a powerful being, such a powerful man, be able to do things incompletely, not to think about the future, not to have a good plan to perform his tasks here on earth? How could he be so human at the point that he is imperfect and does things wrong, that he doesn't complete his mission? It's not acceptable. Jesus knew exactly what he was doing, and he did exactly what was necessary, exactly what he intended, what he came here to do. So we cannot consider that spirits, superior spirits such as Jesus or Moses, spirits that had a direct influence on the behavior of a nation, on the behavior of the whole world, we cannot consider that this kind of superior spirits have done things incomplete or in a relapse way. This kind of attitudes is not part of the attitudes of a superior spirit. If you see, as we are talking about Jesus, if you see some replies that are in some videos in the internet, you can see that in some of them Jesus says he wished he could have told the truth about his death. He could have told us the truth about his death, because some people have this theory that Jesus did not die on the cross, that he was not buried, and that he, let's say, came down from the cross and had continued his life in another place. Some say that he lived in India, some say that he lived in France, some say that he went to Egypt or whatever. But if that happened, if that really happened, and the only source of knowledge about Jesus that we have is what is written, in the gospel. If Jesus allowed us to believe in that he died in the cross, but he didn't, Jesus would be a liar, and he would be letting us believe, he would have been letting us to believe in a lie about his life for more than 2,000 years. And if you pay attention in what was described in the previous videos, one of the characteristics of superior spirits that they do not lie, they always tell the truth. So Jesus would not comply with letting, would not agree with letting all the humanity that he was supposed to save to believe that he died in the cross when he didn't. He would not support this kind of lie. He would not be Jesus if he supported this kind of lie. He cannot, even some people used to say that he did this for a greater good, but how can a greater good come from a lie? Jesus hasn't said he was the truth. In some part of the gospel he says that he is the truth, he is the way for us to achieve a better life, for us to achieve God. So how could a spirit like Jesus say one thing and behave contrary to what he has stated, what he has established for us as rules for our improvement, for us to be saved, let's say? So it's not coherent that a superior spirit says one thing and does another. It's not coherent that a superior spirit bases his life upon a lie or upon lies. That's one of the characteristics, or one of the things we should pay attention to evaluate if the communication can be considered valid or not, if the spirit is who he claims to be or not. Another thing about communications, let's say, right, that these communications are a fraud, that in the internet there is one or two persons pretending to be talking to spirits or to be channeling spirits. One of the things that we must be aware of is that good spirits are attracted by good intentions, by good feelings, by good behavior, and inferior or bad spirits are attracted by the opposite point of view. They are attracted by lies, attracted by bad behavior, by bad intentions. So if I were faking here a communication, I know that there is no spirits here, I'm not seeing any spirit here, and I intend or start faking a communication. Because of the laws of attraction, I would be under the influence of an inferior spirit. Even if I am not a medium, if I am faking it, I would be under the influence of an inferior spirit, because my attitude, my intentions would attract such an inferior spirit. It would not be necessary for me to feel anything or to see or to hear anything to be under inferior spirit's influence, because one of the ways of mediumship is by intuition. An inferior spirit could be blowing inferior ideas, inferior intentions in my mind, and I would not know it. It works the same way when our guardian angels or our superior spirits want to blow us some good ideas, some good intentions. When we pray and we ask for help, we don't always see or hear any concrete replies, but sometimes we have intuitions and ideas on how to solve an issue or on how to have a good behavior from superior spirits. And this channel of communication through intuition is open for good spirits or for bad or inferior spirits, who will decide how this channel is going to be used. Is my intentions, is my feelings, is my desire to fake a communication, or my desire to receive a good communication to help people, or to use the internet or my mediumship skills to help people or to take advantage over people. If you are interested in reading or learning more about this subject that I have just brought in this video, I again suggest you to read Allan Kardec's books. You can read Medium's book. That is a book that explains everything about mediumship, explains everything, how the communication happens, the kinds of mediumship that there are, and how to tell a good spirit from a bad spirit, the consequences of mediumship. And these are very good and important things for us to know. One of the things that it is explained in this book is that mediumship is something that is physical, is something that you are born with. So among the various kinds of mediumship, you were born with some specific ones, right? So you cannot have all kinds of mediumship, or you cannot change or exchange your mediumship, right? If you are a medium that can see spirits, but you are not a medium with the capacity of writing, right, through spirits, or you're not able of letting spirits to use your arms to write books or to write letters, you cannot force your mediumship and start doing this. Mediums that can only write and do not have the mediumship of seeing spirits cannot force himself into seeing spirits, right? Each one of us has his own and specific mediumship that should be developed, studied, and put to use in the best way possible, always for good, always under Jesus and a Christian point of view and purpose. So I thank you again. I hope these videos can be at least teasing you to read or to study a little bit more about mediumship and communications with spirits. I am not an expert on this subject, so that's why I constantly ask you to try to read books from the greatest expert on communications with spirits, that was Allan Kardec. You can find his books in the internet in PDF for download and in English, but you can also find his books translated into other language. The original language was French. Allan Kardec was a French teacher, but his books has been translated into Portuguese, into Italian, English, and other languages. So I thank you very much again for watching this video, and I hope you can send me your comments. Thank you very much.